Welcome student. In previous lecture we have covered very important topic synchronization of thread. In the previous lecture we have discussed what is the difference between the synchronized method and synchronized block. We have also covered how many ways we declare the synchronized method, whether we have to declare the to get a particular lock on current object or a particular object, or how can I achieve a lock of to a specific thread class. We have also discussed various issues regarding the synchronized block and synchronized method, like what are the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method. We have covered so many important things. In this lecture, today's lecture, I will discuss one of the important topic of multi-threading, that is inter-thread communication. Inter-thread communication. So what does mean the inter-thread communication? Means how two threads will communicate each other, how they will talk each other. What is the need of communication? I will explain in details. But before that, I am going to discuss a concept, what is the need of communication. How can I achieve this communication between two threads? Let me explain a small analogy so that if you can understand easily. Assume one morning you got a call from Public Service Commission office regarding your interview details. The person just only informed you that they had already posted a letter to your address and the letter will reach to you within 2 days, and just cut the call. And you are thinking that about this only letter, when the letter will come to your post box. Suppose this is your post box. On that day in evening, suppose you thought that the letter may be arrives today, and at 6 p.m. suppose you have a personal post box in front of your gate, and at 6 p.m. you go to the post box and check is there any letter for you or not. Obviously at that time the letter was not present there, and you just came back. After some times, around 6:30 p.m. you again went to the post box and check again and get back again. So every half an hour you are just doing the same process, like 7 p.m, 7:30 p.m, 7:30 p.m, okay, 8 p.m, 8 p.m. You know that the after 8 p.m. is not letter will post by the postman, but due to anxiety about this letter, you by mistake you are every time you are checking. So this process is continue again and again, or you are thinking about this letter, when the letter will reach to you, so that you can get all information regarding your interview. So the next day this process continue. Next day in very first morning you again check the post box whether there is a letter or not, and this process is continue up to 1:30 p.m. When you went to the post box, you check there is a letter for you, and you got the letter, right? Are you getting my point, what I am saying? So do you think this type of operation you are expecting. Every half an hour you are going to check for the post box and is there any letter or not, and then came back again, go to the post box. So we generally don't expect this type of communication, because every time, every half an hour I am going to checking the post box. You are going to checking the post box and you are check for whether the letter is present or not. So if I think another way, that how can I achieve this type of solution, we can assume that first time when you got the call from the PSC office regarding your interview, you just go to the your letter box and you put a message as a sticker. You put a message there that anybody is going to this post box or letter box, please immediately inform me because I have been waiting for an important letter. Right? So what will happen when the postmaster came update this post box through a letter, then immediately inform you that there is a letter for you, please receive it from your post box. So in this case, in this scenario, how many times you have to check the post box? How many times? Once time you have to go to put the message, and second time to get the letter. So only 2 times you have to check the letter. And the postman only accessing only 1 time. Now we have to think that who is going to update my post box? Postman. And every half an hour if I going to check is there any letter or not, instead of I have to check only 2 times. Then in this scenario, who is, if I compare with our technical term regarding this thread, suppose you are a one person and I am thinking as a thread T1, and postman is another person, I am thinking as a thread T2. I am considering the thread T2. So T1 thread is going to access this post box 2 times and T2 thread is going to access this post box only 1 time. So who is expecting this message for going for updation? Who is expecting any updation from post box? This person. That means T1 is waiting for updation. And who is going to perform the updation? T2. So if T1 expecting some update, then it is not recommended to go there and check is there any letter for me or not every time. If there is any update in the post box, then T2 will give the notification to T1, and in this way we can communicate between the 2 threads. So when 2 threads will communicate each other, then what is the advantage? Unnecessarily who is going to perform this operation? It may be a system time is not going to waste. Right? So if I think in this way, that the thread which is expecting the updation, he has to call an wait method. So thread which is expecting for updation will call a wait method on that postbox object, right? And who is responsible for updation? T2. So T2 after performing updation will call the notify on this object. will call notify method on this object. So then who is going to notify? T2. Who is in waiting state? T1. So who will notify? T1 will be notified by T2 thread. So once there is an update in the post box, then T2 T1 will got the notification, and T1 can continue the remaining work happily. So two thread can communicate by using my main point is two thread can communicate with each other, or they will talk each other by using three method, important method. One of the method is called wait method. Another method is called notify method, and the third method is called notify method, notify all method. I will discuss what is the difference between the notify and notify all later, but right now the main question is whether the wait, notify and notify all method is present in thread, or whether this method belongs to, or the method is belongs within inside the object class. Obviously this method present in object class, not in thread class. Now the next question is, what is the reason why this method is present in object class? Because we know that we are not going to use wait, notify all method anywhere except multi-threading. So why those method are present inside the thread, inside the object class, not in thread class, right? So let's take an example. We have already discussed about this postbox example. So suppose in this postbox example, so one of the object is called postbox, right? I am talking about the technical term, the right framework. Suppose we have a method. The name of the method is M1. Okay? And whenever we are going to access this method, we generally know that we have to call this method on this particular object, right? Because it's a user defined method, right? So suppose S1 is a object. I am calling this method S1.M1, right? I will call this method. Now this S1 may be a student object, maybe a customer object, maybe a string object, or any class object, right? Now the main question is, when we want to access this M1 method, the M1 method should be present on that class. If any should be present in this class, right? Otherwise we cannot call this M1 method. So if I want to call student.m1, that means M1 method should be present in student class. Customer.m1, so that means the M1 method must be present in customer class, right? Similarly, we have already seen that we have a method like we have already covered this method, a start method. So when we call the start method is called on the thread object, right? T1.start. We cannot call student.start. Why? Because the start method is only present in thread class. Similarly, we have also seen the join method. Join method, we call the join t.join. So based on the thread object, I am just calling this. Based on the thread object, I am just calling this method. Why? Because join method is present in thread class, not in other class. We cannot say customer.join. We cannot say thread. We cannot say student.join, right? So this post box maybe maybe a stack, or maybe a queue, maybe a customer, whatever it is. The object may be anything. But when we are calling this object, we have to know that object or this method, the wait method, here I am calling Tn thread is calling wait method, right? And T2 is calling notify method. We already discussed right now. So notify method. So notify method must be present in post box. Notify wait method must be present in post box. But what is the practical scenario? The practical scenario is the wait method must be present in post box and notify method must be in post box, inside the post box, must be present. But what about the other class? What about the customer class, whatever the queue class, or whatever the student class? So there also must be present in, if I want to call student.wait, that means the wait method should be present in wait student class, right? But if a method is required by every object in Java, so why should I put this method in thread class? Why not in object class? That is the reason we put the wait method or notify method or notify wall method present inside object class, not in thread class. That is actual reason. So we can say that wait, notify all method are present due to this reason inside the thread class. Inside the object class, not thread class, right? So the next question is, if I don't put this method or call this method on the object class, or what will happen if a thread wants to call a method wait method or notify method on this object? If the method is not present in this object, what will happen? It will get a illegal monitor state exception. It will get a runtime exception, that is illegal monitor state exception. Monitor means log, okay? State exception. Right? So the first point is, when two threads want to communicate each other or want to talk each other, first they have to use wait, notify and notify all method. That is the first conclusion. And what is the second conclusion? If a thread wants to call a wait method, then the thread should be in synchronized area to get the lock of the particular object. Why? Because this, look at the post box example. This post box will be this thread will be wait for updation of this post box. So they has to call t1.wait method, right? But on which object? Which object? T1 is a thread. So which object? Post box object, right? So if the thread wants to call wait method, or any thread wants to call the wait method, first the thread has to got the lock, otherwise cannot call this wait method, right? So that's why if a thread wants to call a wait method, the thread should be in synchronized area to get the lock of the particular object. We know that last class, in previous lecture, we have already discussed that the area which is always update area, always updating the code or updating the value, that part of the code should be in synchronized block or synchronized method. So I want to say that synchronize area, instead of method or block I am just saying synchronize area. So that part of the code should be in synchronize area. So where we are going to update the post box, the postman is going to update the post box area, and T1 will get the notification, right? And T2 will notify to T1, right? So this part of the code should be in synchronized area. Otherwise we cannot get a lock, right? So wait, notify all should be present only synchronized area, should be present in synchronized area, not synchronized area, right? If this part of the code is not present in not synchronized area, then what will happen? We will get a runtime exception, illegal monitor state exception. We will get an exception that is called illegal monitor state exception, right? And the fourth point is, if a thread call wait method, then it immediately release the lock of that object, then go into the waiting state. Let me clear the point. What does mean the immediately? So what I want to say that, if suppose this is my object, any of the object, I am taking any object, for example post box pro object, and if T1 call the wait method on this object, that immediately T1 has to release the lock immediately. Please keep that in mind, the term immediately. Then go to the, then the T1 will put into the waiting state. Why it is immediately? Because you know that T2 thread will call the notify method, right? But if T1 does not release the lock, how T2 will call the notify method? Are you got my point? If T1 does not release the lock, how this synchronized part of the code or synchronized area will be accessed by T2? Because T2 has to call the notify method. If T1 does not release the lock immediately, T2 will never access this synchronized area, right? So that's why when any thread wants to call a wait method, immediately it has to release the lock on that particular object. Then the thread got into the put into the waiting state. I will go into the waiting state. And one of the things you have to remember, immediately another thing is on that object, because it may be some other object, it may be T1 holding the some other object also, more than one lock he is holding. So which lock has to release? The lock which is used to access this synchronized area. So that means we'll release the lock on that object. So when a wait method is called on that object, so that object lock has to release. On the other hand, a thread who is going to update, or we will call the notify method, it does not require to release the lock immediately. So this notify method, so the thread which is going to call the notified method, it does not require to release the lock immediately, but it has to release the lock, but may not be immediately. So that is the difference between the wait and notify method, that when a thread is called wait method, immediately that thread has to release the lock on that object. But in case of notify method, when a thread call a notify method, it may not be required, it obviously it will release the lock, but it may not be required immediately release the lock, because T2 is not depend on T1, right? It's just inform the T1 so that it can access or continue the other remaining tasks or get the update, okay? Because he is not going to update this synchronized area, he just access this synchronized area, right? So because T2 need to perform some update operation, so that's why. So now the question is, why need to release the lock immediately? I have already discussed that. I have mentioned the lock has to release immediately because why? Because a thread called wait method, and if the thread not release the lock, then how notified method will be called by T2. That's why a thread which call the wait method immediately has to release the lock. So from the conclusion we can say that, so in case of wait, notify and notify all method has to release the lock. But we have already covered the sleep method, join method, yield method does not require to release the lock, because here we are talking about inter-thread communication. That means how a resource can be shared between the two threads, how they will communicate to each other by using a share object, right? So that's why you can say, we can write like this method. Which method? So suppose yield method. Yield method is thread release lock no. Join method required to release the lock? No. Sleep method required to release the lock? No. But wait method? No. Wait method, thread has to release the lock immediately. Okay. Notify method, he has to release the lock but not immediately. Okay. So yes, notify all. Yes. So conclusion of this topic is, so far I have covered how we achieve the communication between two threads or intercommunication between two threads. First of all, we have to use the wait, notify and notify all method. Second point, when a thread want to access wait method, immediately it has to get the lock on that particular object. Means the wait, notify all method call by method that should be present in the thread in synchronized area. And third point is, wait, notify all method, when it will call, the area should be in synchronized, and immediately the thread which call the wait method has to release the lock. Okay, then enter into the waiting state. That's all about this of this lecture, inter-thread communication by using thread, notify all. In next lecture I am going to discuss about the more valuable questions, and I will discuss about the syntax of wait, notify all method, and I will explain a practical example so that you can understand the functionality of wait, notify and notify all method through an coding example. Thank you.